Back into open session. So we started our meeting this evening at 5 o'clock, and we had two workshops, one related to board representation assignments. So all of the board members up here also are on other committees that we do within either our local communities or in our district. And then we went into closed session, and in closed session we discussed conference with labor negotiators, discipline issues, matters pertaining to pupils, and then also conference with legal counsel and pending litigation. And now we come back into open session. And so I'm very glad to see you all here. Thank you very much for coming this evening. My name is Diana Hill, and I am the clerk. Our president is out ill this evening, so I will be running the meeting. And we are now going to start with our Pledge of Allegiance. And I am so excited to get to introduce Bradley Flagg. I know him, and he's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I would like to present our classmate, Brady Flagg, to lead us in the flag salute.
Thank you. Please remain standing for God bless America. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very nicely done. Thank you. And then if we want to go ahead and have our patriotic song.
Tomorrow all the things were gone. I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Brady, thank you very much. And thank you, choir. What a phenomenal job. I love it. And were you also, we were standing behind, were you doing sign language? Yes. Thank you very much. That's extraordinary. We will now move on. And Justin, we will move to our student board member report. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, esteemed members of the board, Dr. Kropp, cabinet, and community members. My name is Justin Davidson, and I will be giving the board report tonight. Before I begin, I'd like to say I hope everyone had a wonderful break, as I did. But now we're back in school and ready to finish out the semester strong, so let's get those gears rolling. First on tabs, we had Midnight Madness. Now, as I mentioned before, this was the first event for Midnight Madness, and we were super happy with the turnout. It was a huge success. We had great performances by song and cheer. We had a DJ with strobe lights, and the kids absolutely love it, and they came out in droves to support the girls and boys basketball. And when you came to the game, you got a free shirt, which did something very cool. In this video, I'll show you right here. So yeah, so they turned out the lights and the griffin would glow in the dark, and so everyone was super excited. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It is.
Next on tabs, we have Winter Formal, which everyone is super duper excited about. It's this Saturday at the AV Irvine, which we have had in the past. It's a great venue, and this year's theme is the Cirque du LA, which is a little spin-off of the famous Cirque du Soleil. So everyone's really excited of all the shopping and everything that requires to get ready for formal. So. Next, just all of our teams are having games currently, are doing great, but I like to highlight the girls water polo. They just had a game and they're gearing up for Division I's playoff next month. And just to highlight one player, Bailey Weber, who is here on the right in the photo, in one game against Newport, she had 6 goals, 6 steals, and 3 assists. So at the end of the day, with everyone's accomplishment and hard work, the Griffins were able to take home a 13-3 victory, which we're very proud of. And next, while everyone was sleeping in on New Year's Day from having a lot of fun the other night, band was in London performing in the New Year's Day parade, which we were all super duper excited for. And one cool thing is this was also filmed, so everyone was able to watch it. And so we're very proud of them because it's a huge accomplishment for them to be representing Los Alamitos in London for, in the parade. It's a huge honor to be in that. So the fact that they were chosen is just a dedication to all the hard work and the many hours that they put into their practice. So here's just a short little video of Justin, who's the drum major of the band.
Right, I'm going to try and have a quick chat with the conductor, Justin, who's very busy at the moment. Good morning to you, Justin. Tell me a little bit about your band.
So our band, we're competing in Southern California for a competition, and then we're really blessed to come to London and be able to play out here.
Have you been over to Britain or Europe before?
No, we haven't.
What do you think of London?
I think it's great. Come to the city and seeing everything is definitely different. I love it.
It's going to be quite a day today. You looking forward to it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Good luck today. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you. There we are.
So yes, it's very cool. We're very proud of them, and it's something that, when they came back on Monday, they all had on their London shirts, and so we were able to ask them about it, and we're just super happy for them. So it's great for them. So that's the end of the board report tonight. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Justin. Dr. Kropp, I believe you are up next.
I am. Thank you, Madam Clerk, President, for tonight, esteemed members of the board, and all of our wonderful community members, mostly McGaw tonight. Welcome. So a few things I want to talk about. We have recognized our 3 classified employees of the year. All are extraordinary. We will invite each of them separately to come to a board meeting where you'll have an opportunity to recognize them. But Eddie Clements, who's our accompanist at Los Alamitos High School, Chewy Chang, who is our food service cook, food services at LAE, and Brian Milfett, who is our purchasing services lead and business services here at the district office. And then Justin just talked about the London New Year's Day parade, but what an accomplishment. And today we sent an email to all of our families that had a link to the live video and at what minute you can watch them in the parade. You can watch Mr. Plunkett get interviewed, and it's, you know, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity that we're so happy about. So thank you to Tom Plunkett and all the boosters for making that happen. Okay. And then we've been doing a lot of work on facilities, so I just want to share a little bit. Our security fencing in all of our elementary schools is just about done. I'm super excited about that. I almost borrowed Justin's word. I almost actually said super duper. That would have been too funny. And fencing repairs. Over the holidays, we aerated our fields. So we're constantly working on ways that we can upgrade our fields. We've completely modernized the McAuliffe track, adding decomposed granite and curbing and widening it out. We're super excited about that. Baseball and softball, we've rehabbed those fields. We've done landscaping across the district, tree trimming across the district, and painting across the district. Those are just some things, but it's really... I feel it's a privilege to be able to work for a board that continually prioritizes maintaining our sites that have been modernized. And I say it a lot, but our major need continues to be the high school, which is our only site we have not modernized. And I know I've been really looking forward to our ongoing discussions about ways to address those needs. And so thank you very much. And can I just, oh, sorry. And choir, you just sang one of my all-time favorite songs. That was just awesome. Good job. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Kropp. Excellent report. And Dr. Kropp, back to you. I believe that we are getting the opportunity to hear McGaw Elementary School this evening.
So we have an amazing elementary school in Seal Beach, and with exceptional staff, classified and certificated, and two really exceptional leaders that make quite a team. And so tonight for our presentation is our amazing principal, Mrs. Ronnie Ellis. Take it away.
Good evening, Clerk Hill, members of the board, Dr. Kropp, Cabinet. It is indeed a pleasure to be here tonight. Happy New Year to all of you. I'd like to introduce you two outstanding students from McGaw, Olivia Seard and Nathan DuPont.
Good evening. I am Olivia Seard.
And Nathan DuPont, and we are proud McGaw Sea Lions. We are here tonight to tell you how special our school is and to tell you how much we appreciate the work that you have done to make our district the best in the county.
As you walk into the main office of McGaw, the words "Learning Today, Leading Tomorrow" are proudly displayed on our walls. The McGaw staff is committed to making sure every child has an opportunity to develop his or her talent.
McGaw Sea Lions know that. Today we learn to read and to write, so that tomorrow we can be writers, lawyers, mathematicians, and innovators.
Today, we learn life skills such as collaboration, communication, and leadership, so that tomorrow we can be independent, successful adults.
Today we learn how to be kind and supportive, so that tomorrow we can be tolerant of others.
Today, we learn to read music and to paint masterpieces, so that tomorrow we can be musicians and artists.
And today we learn what it means to be patriotic, so that tomorrow we can continue to serve our country with dignity and honor.
Actually, we can go on and on about what we learn, but we just really wanted to say thank you to all of you and to you, Dr. Kropp, for all the work that you do so that we can have the special place that we call McGaw. And if you ever just want to feel happy, feel free to stop by. You will definitely leave with a smile on your face.
Olivia and Nathan, thank you very much. Very nicely done.
You know, when we sat down to prepare for tonight, I talked to Olivia, Ms. Malpass and I did, to Olivia and to Nathan about what they felt was special about McGaw, and they came up with that entire statement, everything they said, so I'm very proud of that too, so thank both of you for that. It is indeed a pleasure tonight to talk to you about McGaw. that is that little special school by the sea. McGaw by the numbers. We have 800 students this year, 43 teachers, 9 other certificated staff, which is speech, psychologists and such, and 44 classified for a total of 96 amazing instructors and staff members. Distinguishing McGaw features. We have our A for a Day academics, arts, attendance, attitude, and athletics and activities program where we daily recognize a child in one of those areas and announce their name over the intercom, bring them up to the office, take a picture, and send an email home to the parent with a picture of Mrs. Malpass and myself and the student depicting their outstanding achievement for the day. We do morning announcements every day where we do the school-wide Pledge of Allegiance and a patriotic song, which brings a true sense of patriotism and civic responsibility to our students. This year we celebrate the 36th annual Pageant of the Arts. We have a student awards assemblies on a regular basis where we recognize students with the Seal of Approval Award and in all the areas of reading, writing, math, Heart and Soul Award, and recently music and art awards for our students. We also look for perfect attendance and classrooms with best attendance, and we recognize those every month. We have our Grades of Green and Food Finders programs where kids are learning how to reduce our landfill and how to make sure that we take packaged foods that have not been opened and make sure our local nonprofits have access to those. We have our Sea Lion Leadership, where 4th and 5th grade students have access to leadership opportunities throughout the year, including our morning announcements. We have a character count store where kids can cash in their coins and retrieve all kinds of outstanding goodies, right, Mrs. Malpass? And we have commitment to our military families that serve us, and we make sure that we recognize them every chance that we have. In Los Alamitos School District, priority number 1 is increased academic achievement. And we know that there are various ways to get there. One is certainly through curriculum and instruction. But we also know that activities and the attitude that we bring to school every day as instructors and students make a difference. We make sure that attendance is in place because our kids can't learn unless they're there. We integrate the arts through our programs, and it all starts with an awesome staff. I'm going to talk to you about our data. This is just one aspect of our school instructional program, and it's the CASP data over a 3-year period. What you see in front of you is 2015, 16, and 17 scores. It show that we've improved since the 2015 a couple of areas. That's ELA. This is our math scores. And we have looked at this data very, very carefully. It's 3 years worth of, like I said, standards-based, norm-referenced testing, but the real instruction that we look at in our classrooms is what we're looking at in addition to this. However, we take this very seriously, as we know that the board does as well. Our scores are not what we want them to be, which I think is a good thing. So what we're doing about it, and I want you to be really clear on what we're doing about this, because we're doing a lot of work right now. The number one thing that we have found to be the most important is to build a culture where high expectations and student achievement are the norm. It's part of what we do each and every day. So we started by analyzing our data. We took apart our CASP data that you saw earlier, and we made sure that we compared our data to our schools in our district. We compared our data to other schools outside of our district, and we looked at the question we asked ourselves, does this data truly reflect the boys and girls of McGaw? And we decided as a staff that it doesn't, that we know that we can be better and we can do better. We disaggregated the data. We took out the subgroups. We took out EL students that we have, and there are very few. We took out our low-income students, again, very few. We took out special ed that may contribute to lower scores, and quite honestly, it didn't make that much of a difference in our data. So that again drove home the point that we have work to do. Communicating the data was important to me as well, because I don't think our parents and our community really understood where we stand. So we were very diligent about making sure not only we understood it as a staff, but our community understood it as well, and they do. And they're very, very supportive of the work and the efforts we're putting forward right now. So our teachers reflected it, they took ownership of it, and the work that's being done today is truly extraordinary. What you see at the top right is just the same table you saw a little while ago, which shows us as a school by grade level. The next table shows what we did to really drill down on this, to show how teachers perform. This is just a grade level and how the particular teachers did. So the teachers looked at this, and this was a hard conversation to have, but they took ownership, as I said earlier, of this information and said, all right, I'm not doing the things that I probably need to be doing. I'm not implementing the best practices that I can, but my partners are. So let's talk about this. Let's get together, let's collaborate together, and that's the work that we're seeing and we're doing now. And again, the community was presented with all this information and had a chance to ask questions and give input. Putting the right people in the right places, I think, is important as well. This year at McGaw, we have 21 staffing changes from the year before. We have 16 people that we moved around and 5 additional staff members that we hired. So that's a big difference. That's over 57% of our staff in different seats this year. And there's been a great sense of energy and excitement as a result of that. Developing a culture of collaboration. We take advantage of the great trainings that Los Alamitos offers through Ed Services, and we take advantage of the TOSAs that are offered to us as well. In addition, we're looking at our balanced literacy program, and we enlisted additional support from a local parent who happens to be a growing educator employee and said, Ronnie, I want to help with our early literacy. So she's working with us right now with our primary teachers, along with Marcia and Evan, which is a really great collaboration. And we have our PTA who's providing us extra money to do more planning days for our teachers, which has been fantastic. And then we've adopted the Japanese philosophy of Genchi Genbutsu, which is go and see. Toyota factories, they talk about if you want to see the way the work is supposed to be done, go look at the masters who are doing the work. So our teachers now have the chance to go see each other and go to other schools to see what the work that's being done and how we can improve the practices that we have. And also McGaw staff. Staff begins with people that are completely committed, and we have a great sense of tradition at McGaw as our 4th grade team displays there. We also have great dream builders and stormtroopers. We have great style, and we have genuine smiles, Mr. Moncolin. We have those who are great time managers, and those who just want to have a great time. We have supermodels, Modeling Monday, and we have superheroes. They're here somewhere. I know they are. We know that building great relationships is a priority at McGaw, but the lasting relationships is what we value the most. And this is a day at McGaw. And a big thank you to Bob Ostman, who helped put that together for us. We know that no school is complete without activities, and we provide as many activities as we can for our kids that are meaningful. Our Grades of Green program, we talked about earlier, with our landfills, reducing landfills, and our Food Finders program that help our kids realize that our planet needs their help and support if we're going to sustain what we have. Our Sea Lion Chorus, tonight you met just our part of our fifth grade chorus. We have 90 members in our Sea Lion Chorus, believe it or not. So we've got lots more fifth graders, fourth graders, and a couple third graders, to be honest, which we love. We have our Veterans Day and Week of the Military Child that we think is very near and dear to us with the naval base across the street. This year we did a special thing on our Veterans Day. We had all the students in our school, every staff member as well, who knows somebody that serves in the military or has served in the military, hold a placard that says, "I salute." And every child held that up in just show of respect for current servicemen and women and our veterans. We have our A for a Day program that you saw earlier. We have our regular flag decks, and we have our annual fit-a-thon to help support not just our outdoor education program, outdoor science school, but also brings all the local gyms and fitness trainers and our military come over and do a fitness day with us. Academic activities include things like the 100 Day of School, where kids get the sense of what it feels like to be 100 years old and the value of zero. We have Read Across America celebration. We have the Imagination Machine that comes in to encourage creative writing. We have our district-sponsored Modeling Mondays and College Days that we support. We have our LAIF STEAM fairs that we love. We have our monthly awards assemblies. And we have, where else would you find Stevie Wonder and Steve Irwin in the same classroom? In our living museum. We have our outdoor science school that we support and our trips to Sacramento that we support for our 4th and our 5th grade students. We have our arts program that goes throughout, is now being taught to every TK through 5th grade student. That results in a work of art that are done by classroom collective works that you see up there, as well as the pageant that you see pictures of and the masters that we celebrate. That's our current master, Sarah Brim, our new art teacher at McGaw, which we think is fantastic. And this year's our 36th annual pageant, and this year's artwork will be Edward Hopper's Nighthawks. Attendance. As I said earlier, you can't teach kids unless they're in school. And I got to tell you, we have some good news to report to you. What you see on the graph there, we're looking at our attendance. We're doing everything we can to encourage students to be to school every day and every day on time. So the lower box on the left, the darker orange, shows from last year, August, through this point and end of December, our attendance rate was at 96.32. This year, we're proud to say it's 96.93, which is over 6 percentile points higher, and we are very, very proud of that. And the graph on the right will show you that that's the total number of absences. So last year's absences were 2,376 days of absence between the months of August and December, and this year we reduced that over 526 to 1,850. That's really good news. That's about $28,000 in revenue for the district, so yay, McGaw. Priority number 2, safe, healthy, and drug-free schools and programs. And we celebrate a Come Walk in My Shoes during our Peace Week. We have students that have disabilities in our school, and we make sure that we celebrate them and make our kids realize that they're part of everything that we do. We celebrate Autism Awareness Month in April, and we did a great celebration of Red Ribbon Week this week, but all students and staff got in the formation, as you've seen, the American flag, and that was our way of saying we want a healthy America and say no to drugs. And we also celebrate our military come in during Red Ribbon Week and have lunch with our kids and walk through the lunch areas and make sure that they are part of that as well. The Week of the Military Child as well as Red Ribbon Week. Priority 3 is to communicate and to inform and educate our community. So we start our communication with our stakeholders that begin with our students. Our sea lions, our barking sea lions every morning get up and do the morning announcements. Not only do we lead in the flag salute and patriotic song, but they also tell the boys and girls what's going on that day, what they need to be prepared for, if it's college day the next day or testing is coming up. So they're communicated with on a regular basis. Our staff is communicated with on a weekly basis. We do our McGaw Matters, which tells them all the upcoming events, and also on the back just certain things to remember. And we take a moment at the bottom to celebrate every week somebody on staff who's doing something extraordinary. Our community is communicated with on a regular basis too with our McGaw Connect, our email blast that goes out every Monday morning, as well as our school messenger, which is voicemail email system, our website, which is updated, and our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. Maximizing resources and maximizing relationships, I like to call it. We have many of those, beginning with our PTA, Project Zeke, and LAIF, and also with our district, who provides us great support on a regular basis. Orange County Fire Department, there's Brady again, who's gone. We have great relationships with our military across the street, relationship with our City of Seal Beach, who comes to all of our events that we ask them to come to. Boeing comes in and does engineering with us. The Knights of Columbus, Chamber of Commerce, the Lions Club are all big supporters of McGaw. We have a recent new partner, which is the Philharmonic Society, who's sponsoring us. We just got a check for $850 from them recently, and they were also inviting our second graders to go to the Disneyland Band and our fifth graders to go to the Seacrest Center for a ballet. And our Seal Beach Police Department is there every time we need them. Priority 5 is maintaining modern facilities, and a big thank you to the board for the new wall board that you've given us at McGaw. It has made a tremendous difference in the way our teachers feel when they're teaching and the kids feel when they're learning. So thank you for that. The new main entrance to our office and the health center access that you've given us changed everything in there, and it makes it such a smoother transition. So we're looking constantly at how to use our current space. We are working with the district, who's provided us beautiful furniture, and we had a big contest going on. Our winning teachers, are all over here. If you want new furniture, raise your hand. It was fabulous. So we're going to try to get more furniture for those classrooms who didn't win, but really tried. But anyway, for all of those things, we are eternally grateful. McGaw celebrates innovation. McGaw celebrates community. McGaw celebrates future leaders and inclusiveness. McGaw celebrates, that's you, Justin. McGaw celebrates academics, opportunities for our kids. We celebrate patriotism, and we celebrate relationships, all because we know that by learning today, our kids will be leading tomorrow. Thank you.
Mrs. Ellis, I just wanted to say that since I have been on the board, one of the things I've always been concerned with is that we need accountability for what we're doing, because if you don't have accountability, we really don't know what we're doing. So to look into our data like you guys have and really break it down is courageous for you and your entire staff, but it will be so productive for all of our students at McGaw. And it's something that every site does, everybody needs to do that. We get the district data and pepper, the administrators with questions, and they usually know the answers and tell us because they've thought of them before we got the information. But I just really appreciate you guys doing that. You can only go forward when you have a plan. So thank you for doing that.
I appreciate your words. This is a high achieving district, in case you didn't know that.
Yeah. I know other people say, why are you even bothering? You're doing so well.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, but honestly, the staff has taken this on with such grace and dignity. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Thank you, Mrs. Ellis. Excellent job. And I believe that you are still up and you are going to present our Heroes of the Heart, which is something that's very important to us and very important to our district. Thank you.
It is my pleasure, absolutely. When we were asked this year to identify a hero of the heart, it took 3 seconds, I think, to think of this person who has made a tremendous impact. In fact, you saw her throughout you didn't see her face, but you saw her work throughout the presentation tonight. So it's my pleasure to tell you, let me tell you a quote that really depicts Mrs. Courtney Gustin. Courtney, would you please come up here and stand with me so they can look at you instead of me? The quote says, "If we intend to provide a better life and a better world for future generations, we can't ignore the quality of the environment that we leave them." Okay. Yeah. So it gives McGaw School Community and I great pleasure to honor Mrs. Courtney Gustin with the Hero of the Heart Award. Courtney has been instrumental in 2 important areas. 1, raising the awareness in our community about how much we need to reduce our landfills, and 2, ways that we can repurpose the food that typically goes to waste during our lunch periods. Through Courtney's determination and efforts, we have 2 outstanding programs at McGaw, the Grades of Green Trash-Free Lunch Program and Food Finders. When asked to describe Courtney Gustin, staff and students had these words to share in the form of an acrostic, of course, elementary school. Mrs. Gustin, M, much appreciated. R, relationship builder. S, sincere smile. Now Gustin. G, generous with her time. U, understands the importance to protect our environment. S, succeeded in getting McGaw involved in the trash-free lunch program. T, tenacious in reducing our landfills and feeding those less fortunate. I, inspirational in her messaging that we are all responsible for our world. And N, never complains or says it can't be done. Not only has Mrs. Gustin been instrumental in getting us started, but she has great influence on our district as we begin to see more schools that are more ecology and trash-free programs in our schools. Most days you'll find Courtney Gustin donning a green apron, lining a trash can, writing an environmental fact on a chalkboard, but it's every day you will see her wearing the smile. And that is why the McGaw School community sees Courtney Gustin as a true hero of the heart. On behalf of the McGaw School community, this is for you, but I want you to come up and say hello to everyone. And all, here's my roll in the back. I'll get you a fresh copy. But introduce your family and say whatever yours.
Okay. Hi. Thank you so much. This is such an honor, and I can't tell you how much it means to me. Our family has been at McGaw for 16 years. This is our last year at McGaw, not our last year at the school district. But I think you get a sense of what an amazing place, and I'm sure you've been on campus, that this school is. It is an infectious, wonderful, like joyous school that you just feel like, well, why wouldn't you give back? Why wouldn't you want to give it 150%? I was working on this idea of waste reduction for a few years before Terry and Ronnie came to McGaw, and they accepted it, embraced it, and said, yes, why wouldn't we do this? Let's go. And so it just has been a joyous thing last year, this year, having them here at our school. They are such wonderful role models. All of our teachers are just gung-ho and teaching their kids. This has been a community effort. All of our students participating and doing their job. It takes a whole community, and as well as your acceptance and of this program. So I just want to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart. This has been a work of joy and love, and it's just been a wonderful journey. So thank you. This means
Excuse me. Court, will you please introduce your family to us? Thank you.
Properly introduce my family. They've been so supportive. Brent Gustin, my wonderful husband. Hannah.
Come up, get on TV, come on.
Yes, he is. And Hannah, she is at Oak in 7th grade. And Winley, she is my 5th grader. She's got one of her former teachers here, and they've been so supportive. Just me hauling compost home and food in the car, and and so it's just been amazing and just such a community effort, and so it's been great. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you very much. So we are now going to go into recess. Please, if you performed this evening or if you were honored this evening, please don't leave. And also the staff of McGaw, we'd like to get photos of everybody during recess. There are also cookies out front, so there's a reward once you have your photo taken. Back into our meeting from our recess. And our next something, is our community and staff participation. If anybody at this point in time would like to address the board, this would be the time to do it, and you need to fill out a card. And seeing nothing, I don't believe we have anything, do we, Tina? And seeing nothing, we will move on to our information and presentations. And Dr. Pulver, you're going to discuss our quarterly report on our quarterly Williams report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Esteemed members of the board, I'm pleased tonight to report that we do not have any issues to report on the quarterly Williams report for this quarter.
Woo-hoo. Excellent. Thank you very much. And no action is needed on that, correct? Okay, the next thing, we're going to move into our consent items. And consent items are items that are routine in nature. that in doing the district's business. And so I see that we have, do we have any polls this evening? Seeing no polls, then I would need a motion for consent items A through 10A through 10AA.
So move. Well, I'll second.
There we go.
I'll second it.
At this time, we'll take a vote. And so all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All of the items from 10A to 10AA pass unanimously. And then as we move on to our action items, and I turn my page, the next item that we are looking at is the approval of board representation assignments. And this is something that we discussed earlier in a workshop. So all of the board members are also members on a variety of other committees. And so those committees vary from the SELPA committee to the West Orange County Legislative Committee. There's a variety of them. And so we discussed them and whose those assignments would be. So can I have a motion to pass?
Mrs. Hill?
Yes.
I'd like to read who has been nominated and so that would, be read into the record with that.
It's going to be put into the minutes, and we can certainly do that, but it will be attached. Mrs. Gattuli and I asked that, but we'd be happy to do it. That'd be great.
Okay, can I do that?
Sure.
Okay, for the nominating County Committee on School District Organization members, Representative Meg Gattuli and alternate Dave Boyer. Operations Steering Committee, Dave Boyer, Jeff Barkey, and alternate is Diana Hill. Correct me if I don't read this right. Los Alamitos City District Working Group, Dave Boyer and Diana Hill, representative, and alternate is Jeff Barkey. Seal Beach City District Working Group, representative Meg Gattuli and Karen Russell, alternate Jeff Barkey. West Orange County Legislative Committee, Jeff Barkey and alternate Dave Boyer. Safety Task Force, which rolls into the Violence Prevention and Response Task Force, Karen Russell and Jeff Barkey. DAC, LCAP, and DLAC Committee, I'm Representative Meg Gattuli and Karen Russell. And Special Education PTA Committee, Diana Hill.
Thank you very much. I am also the alternate on the DAC committee. Okay. So I'm the alternate on that. And then we had two other committees where because we rotate every year, so they'll be on this list, but they were not changed.
And we also added the
CSD.
Yes, yeah.
So RCSD, and that is Jeff Barkey. Thank you very much, Mrs. Russell. And so
Move approval?
that'd be wonderful.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That also passes unanimously. And then we are moving on to the approval of resolution regarding Mr. Boyer, who missed our December meeting for personal reasons. So I need I'm sorry, it's catching up with me. I need a motion.
I move approval of action item 11B.
I'll second it.
Okay.
And then all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What's the resolution?
Roll call, thank you.
Mrs. Russell?
Aye.
Mr. Boyer?
Aye.
Mrs. Hill?
Aye.
Ms. Gattuli?
Aye.
Thank you. The next item we're on to is approval of supplemental materials, and Mrs. Reed.
Thank you, Madam President, Madam Clerk. Tonight we bring forward for your approval, after 30 days of review, a high school health unit that is to be taught within grade 9 PE or as a standalone 15-hour course, as presented last, 2 meetings ago.
I move approval.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? I would just like to say that I think you guys did an extraordinary job of really coming back and taking the board's comments and coming back with something that will suit our students and our community. Thank you very, very much for all that hard work.
And still keep within the state
Amen.
framework and mandates. That's the trick.
There we go. All those in favor?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Our next item is the adoption of Los Alamitos Unified School District, implementing pre-qualification of construction contractors under the Public Contract Codes section and Education Codes section. And Mrs. Nien, did I get it right that time?
Yes, thank you. This is for any of the lease-back projects that exceeds $1 million. This is a new requirement that has to be done.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Any discussion? We've used the lease-back before, and it's worked very, very well for our district. So this is also a roll call item.
Mrs. Russell.
Aye.
Mr. Boyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Hill.
Aye.
And Mrs. Cattouli.
Aye.
And I don't have to say passes unanimously when you do roll call, right?
One would assume.
I would hope. Next is on to the approval of, or ratification of our warrants. This is basically the district's checkbook, and there were 55 pages, I believe, of warrants this last time. And so we as a board go through each one of those individually. If there are questions related to them, we ask, and then we're given answers. So I need a motion.
Also move.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Then all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. That passes unanimously as well. And our next item is our acceptance of donations. And this is a time that we're always very grateful for the district that we're in, but we're very grateful for the generosity of the community, surrounding community, and as we can see, also businesses around us for the donations that they make to the district. These are also, when we look at the total, this is only a portion of what is donated to the district. We don't have to take, say, donations to booster clubs and stuff like that into directly to the district, so they go through the booster club. So we have a very, very generous community. And I keep speaking because I'm trying to get to the
I
end.
have a comment I want to make.
That'd be
Take
great.
A break. I know you have to wait for it to scroll. The first item was a $50,000 donation from Boeing, and I do want to point that out, not just because of the fact that it's obviously a huge donation, and we really appreciate the partnership we have with the Boeing company, but this money is specifically going to be used in the classrooms, helping our teachers, supporting our teachers' professional development and materials for the next generation science standards that are coming out. And we just really appreciate this help so that we'll be able to be even more effective in the classroom because of this kind of financial support.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Cattouli. And as you see, total donations are $110,065.84. And there's our year-to-date total, and we're only in January.
It started in July, though.
Okay, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
I meant that is that we're far along. So if I could have a motion to accept the donations?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Passes unanimously. We're now going to move on to our classified personnel report. It has been revised since originally in the posted in the agenda, and then also, if it's okay with everybody, I'm going to include our certificated personnel report and do them together.
Then I'll make a second.
Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. And then we are on to communication. Mrs. Russell.
Well, since there was a break, there wasn't that much going on, but at least I did attend last Friday the Los Al Chamber meeting, and it was the installation of the new officers of the chamber and honoring those that were outgoing members. And Shelley, I can't remember her last name.
Hasselbrink.
No. The gal who's the editor of the
Orange County Breeze.
Yeah.
Henderson.
Henderson. She's the new president of the chamber, and so that was a very nice event. And Then on the same day, they had the Tiki Burger truck here for all of our employees that worked over the break time, and they then honored the classified employees, as Dr. Kropp mentioned in her report. At least Eddie Clement they did earlier in the year, but they did the other two employees. So that was a very nice event, and just getting to sit and chat with all of them and thanking them for all the hard work they did over the break. Because I know as a teacher, I love coming back to my classroom all clean and everything, and starting the new year out with all of that happening. So a lot of people don't know how hard people work over that time, and that people really are working in the school district to make our schools run smoothly. So thank you again to all of them. And that's about it.
Thank
Happy
you,
New
Mrs.
Year.
Russell. Mr. Boyer.
Happy New Year, everybody. I'll say that, and I think we're, just from tonight's report we saw, we're making great strides, and we continue to make great strides. And I like the fact that in that report tonight that we're, like Megan talked earlier, we're breaking down the data, and we're really looking at it and looking at all the subgroups. And I want to tell staff I really appreciate that, and I know we try, and we're relentless at that. And I know the bar seems to keep getting raised, and we keep trying to raise it and get higher and catch up to it. So I want to thank our staff for all their hard work, and thank our teachers for supporting our professional development programs, because you see they're really making a difference, and the commitment the board has had to fund that and make that happen. And I just want, on a personal note, just thank the staffs and the schools and my cohorts here. It's been a tough month for me, and losing my father. But what I love about Los Al, the Los Al way just blew me away. My mom received a couple cards from members of staff and from different schools. She goes, "Who's this?" And my sister's a school teacher up in Northern California, and she's like, "Well, this is not, no." But I just want to thank staff, and every school site sent me a card, and it just made several sent cards to my mom, and it made a big difference. And I just want to thank people. It's been a tough year last year, and 2018 is going to be a better year. And I know other people have lost loved ones as well. And so I want to thank you and thank the Los Al family, because we really are a family. So thank you, and I know we've got lots to get done in 2018, and I'm excited to get on board and get it going. So.
Thank you, Mr. Boyer. Mrs. Cattouli.
I had my, my ROP meeting, which I'm also going to have tomorrow. My ROP meeting is always the day after this. So by the time I report what we did, it's like old news, and I feel like I should be talking about the new agenda. But I would like people to know that I was elected clerk of the ROP board. So I'll be doing that, which, unless the person, Ann Piercy from Anaheim, doesn't show up, I won't have to do much. But there's always that possibility she could get sick. And I did hand out to everyone up here on the dais. We have been working very hard at ROP to get as many classes as we can approved by the UC and the CSUs, so that when you take an ROP class, which should be a great exploratory opportunity for our students, but if you are on a track to perhaps go to a four-year school, it will still count. So and it takes a while to go through all of that, but we have like a whole page now filled with them, so that's really great. I was also able, since the last time we had our meeting, to walk through Lee, McAuliffe, and McGaw schools, and that is still the most favorite thing I do as a board member. Everything is doing really well. And I was also able to attend the La Salle Chamber Breakfast that Mrs. Russell spoke about. And then I just like to say that I hope that 2018 is a really great year for all of us, all the community members, parents, students, staff. I think it's an even number. I like even numbers. So I'm really hoping that 2018 is going to be an outstanding year for everyone, and I would like to also wish everyone a Happy New Year. That's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Cattouli. And so we'll finish with me, and once again, Happy New Year, and it is always a great opportunity to start fresh. And I wore my band T-shirt on New Year's Day. I happened to be in South Africa, and I'm not really sure if it was New Year's Day, but where I was New Year's Day. And I just was really proud, couldn't have been more proud of our band for what they did and how they represented us. And Mr. Plunkett was kind enough to be able to send us that video, and I just reveled in watching it, and just also a little, and this is going to sound naive, but just amazed that their parade looked just like our Macy's Day parade. I felt kind of, it was very, and so, but with a British accent, so it was just a little nicer. But I thought that was absolutely and utterly tremendous. And one of the things that really struck me when, because I was in South Africa over the holidays, and was with some of the museums that I went to and meeting some of the people and listening to some of the history of that country, is that there is a huge divide, and part of that divide has a lot to do with the lack of education and a lack of equal education, equal access to education. And so it made me very proud to come back to the United States and realize that although I know we are not perfect, and our district is really good, but not perfect. We're always striving to be better. That the one thing that we can say about this country is that it doesn't matter where you are, you have equal access to a good education. And doing that allows you to be able to reach for the stars. And I think that's so important for us to all recognize out there. And it just really struck me that it could be such a difference because of that lack of access. And I also, a very unusual thing that should have happened, but Mr. Boyer and I both lost a parent within a day of each other, and I lost my mother. And I was very, very grateful to everybody who came to her celebration of life. I know you walked in and thought it was a big party, but that's what my mother would have wanted. And I just really appreciate the support and from everybody for that, as we have. It's been a tough month for many of us. But we are on to the new year, and I believe that we have finished the business of the district. And being that, I'd like a motion to close the meeting.
I will move to adjourn. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.